What's up? Welcome to another Ask Matt, another impromptu, not planned, didn't give you any notice one, so sorry about that if you missed out. If you don't want to miss out next time, hit the bell. It's right here or there, but hit the bell, then you'll get notified when I hop on, so you can be a part of these and you can get your question answered, which is the point of this. So if that's interesting to you, hit the bell so you'll be in here next time live. As per usual, we gotta do a little waiting, get everyone inside. So what's new? You know, I'm just doing my thing, chilling, thinking a lot of new things, new plans, being pulled in a lot of directions. Good stuff, but you know, trying to figure it all out. That's where I'm at. Old things, new things. Yeah, you know. What's up? Everyone saying hello. Thank you guys for being here. I see all of you. Max, Shawshank, Vadim, Hicham, Abner, Tin, Anna, yeah, and Alyssa. What's up, guys? We'll give it another few seconds and then jump right into questions. Anyone seeing a square line on Matt's face? It's the autofocus thing. Sorry about that. I don't know why I would be doing that. One second, guys. I don't know how to work this camera. I literally don't know how to work this camera. Sorry, guys. I don't know what I'm doing with this thing. Let me see if that is still doing it. There's the delay, so I can't tell yet. Is it doing it? Is it doing it? We're good? Are we good, guys? Sorry about that. Truthfully, like ever since I got this new camera setup, I still have never really like given it the time to like dive in and really learn how to use this camera. Like, it's a great camera, but like if you guys have noticed, like sometimes in my vlogs, like I'm out of focus sometimes, and like I've had this audio issue. Like I need to spend some time like actually learning this thing, because while it's super capable, it's slightly more complicated, I guess, and I'm not an expert at that. So thanks for going along with me for a minute there, guys. I appreciate it. We're up to 49, so yeah, let's just get into questions. Those of you catching the replay as well, thanks for catching the replay. Sorry about that last few seconds. And let's see what we've got here. I know I've said this multiple times in the past, but we're going to be keeping this one a bit tight. It's not going to be an hour long. I'm thinking 30, 35 minutes, and then we'll just call it good. So let's try to hit some really quality, tight, fresh questions here. Kelly, you finally made one. Welcome, Kelly. Outside of Amazon, where are the other places you like to advertise for your products? I know Gary Vee is pushing Insta and Facebook. Yeah, I mean, so we're talking a larger social media landscape type of thing here. One vague answer that I'll give you is that you want to be driving to Amazon. So wherever your traffic source is, that's great. So if you have some particular advantage in some type of traffic, if you're a master of email lists, if you're the master of YouTube, if you're the master of Facebook ads or Instagram or Facebook groups, or you know, using influencers, like any type of traffic is going to help, right? And also figuring out where your market is. Like, where do the people that are your audience hang out? Like, where do they go? You know, are they on YouTube? Are they are they offline? Are they reading magazines? Thinking like that and getting in front of them. But ultimately, I think the biggest takeaway for you guys is whatever you're doing off of Amazon is great. Obviously, I'm all about building a brand, laying that foundation for being off of Amazon. But I actually talked on my Instagram story today. I've been doing the question of the day. If you guys haven't been catching that or heard about that, it hasn't been every day. It's like question of the day on the days that I do it. But it's that you guys DM me questions, then I answer one on my story. And today it was actually about this. And the main point of it was that you, well, you can catch it there to see the whole thing. But the gist of it is that even if you're setting up Shopify and running ads and all of this stuff, you should really, for now, you should really divert it to the sale on Amazon. And the reason for that, even though we want to be building up our own thing, we want to push the sale to Amazon because every sale on Amazon is marketing for the next sale on Amazon. Because if the sale can help us rank, that can help us get more exposure for the next sale. So to me, like, while this thing is happening, this whole Amazon thing, which is a real thing for those of you thinking that this is not a real thing, while it is, we should take advantage of those sales that occur on Amazon because those are going to help get more exposure for future sales on Amazon. Now, of course, it would be absolutely incredible to have your 8-9 figure business off of Amazon. You control it end to end. That's amazing. But like, we are taking advantage in a good way of this Amazon opportunity. So use it while it lasts, which is not going away soon. But while we have this opportunity, drive the sale on Amazon because those sales are marketing for future sales. So don't just try to take the sale off of Amazon, but have those pieces in place such that your brand is real. For consulting calls, can I DM you on IG some context to take advantage of time and better flow? Yeah, when you set up a consulting call, which I'm still doing for now, there's like a little short questionnaire where you can put in some notes, and I do look at the notes ahead of time. Now, obviously, look, I'm not trying to sell anyone on consulting calls because it can really fill up my schedule. So I don't try to do that, but I still offer it for those who want it. But here's the thing is that like I can't tell you I'm going to look at your case for 30 minutes before your 30-minute call that you paid for, because so you really have to keep in mind that like, we're going to be going through stuff together on the call. It's not like I'm going to have this like, presentation that I prepared for 6 hours for your 30-minute call. So, on some level, like, yeah, I'll read the notes that you give me, but we'll be diving in on the time that you're paying for. Like that's just the reality of how a consulting call works. But I will look at the notes. And of course you can DM me on Instagram as well. I mean, I get back to a lot of those questions for free. And if you say like, hey, like I have a call with you, like hopefully I'll see that and be able to do that. But yeah, I mean, it's really the time is the time. What are the 1 or 2 biohacks that you think have had the biggest impact on your life and success? So I would say they are, one is very broad, and that's diet as a whole. I eat a very, very particular diet. I eat basically the bulletproof diet or modified paleo ketogenic diet. That means high healthy fats. That's your coconut oil, your MCT oil, your avocado oil, grass-fed butter, grass-fed ghee. I do eat grass-fed meats. I don't eat just any meat. I only eat, very particularly high-quality source meats because the toxins and the actual substances of the meat and the fat is absolutely not the same thing based on what the animal ate or was exposed to. So that gluten-free, no dairy other than grass-fed butter or ghee. That one's huge. I mean, I was substantially chunkier back before that. Like growing up, I guess most of you guys wouldn't know this, but like, through middle school, high school, like I was really overweight. Like really, like I weighed, to put this into context, when I was in 7th grade, I weighed 60 pounds more than I do now in 7th grade. So so diet is big, and I didn't lose all the weight by this diet. I lost it in a more unhealthy way, but this diet is all based around longevity and, feeling good mentally. It's not about losing weight, but that is a side effect because you drop all the inflammation when you go into an anti-inflammatory diet. Now the other one I would say is getting outside, setting your circadian rhythm. For me, I'm lucky to have the beach nearby, so I'll, have, on top of just getting sunlight on my body and in my face, I'll also have my feet in the sand on the ground. It's just a good way to reset. you know, I guess we'll count that as 2, but I really think these things play in synergy with each other. You know, sleep, light, water, avoiding toxins, eating a very healthy diet. Yeah. And I appreciate the question on those topics. I love talking that stuff. You noticed sales down today. Did you get hit by the search placement bug this week? You know, I don't even think I've logged in today. That's like one thing that I've gotten much better at, being not so fanatical. And now I have multiple things now. So it's like, I used to check, you know, 800 times a day. I don't even think I logged in yesterday. So, you know, there are always fluctuations. I used to freak out if my sales were down by 20% or whatever, but like, there's just a lot of things going on. So I try to not look at it on a day by day basis, because you can really drive yourself insane. So try to zoom out a little bit more. Missed my question, please answer. Permanent solution to get rid of hijackers, especially when your company is trademark stage. You know, do brand registry. That's going to give you some added protections if you have a trademark. Get your brand registry done. What timepiece you wearing tonight? Looks beauty. This is a Speedmaster. Let me see if this focuses. 1971 Speedmaster Professional. This is the Moon Watch. So you can see like the engraving on the back. It says like flight qualified by NASA for manned space missions, the first watch worn on the moon. So these are, I won't go into the weeds, but this is almost the exact watch that was first worn on the moon, 1971. Speedmaster Professional. Vintage, obviously, as you can see. What does branded box package... Oh, I just saw in the replay the watch wasn't focused at all. Oh, well, you can find a picture on my Instagram, probably. Branded box package design usually costs. Any recommended companies? I use my own designer, so you know, that's just hourly. You know, I would recommend Upwork. Fiverr's really cheap. I probably wouldn't do that personally. You know, you want to invest in having a brand that emulates a world-class, high-level, real brand. Hard for me to put an exact price on it. You know, I don't know. I think spending a couple $100 on a design that is pretty solid is very doable, I would say. But I haven't done it that route in quite a while, because now I just have my own designer, Francis, who edits these videos. He does my designs when needed as well. So it's like, I don't even know how I would quantify the exact price of that. How vital is it for new sellers to utilize social media marketing? So while I would say it's very possible to not use it, like there's still so much potential just within Amazon. Having a great product, be differentiated, you know, having this branded, beautiful, top level converting listing, going really hard with PPC, all the internal Amazon stuff. It's still more than possible to launch a product just doing that. It really is. But at the same time, like that's no doubt that's getting harder. You know, it is more competitive. And while that's not impossible, that's a more patient approach. I take that approach a lot of the time. But any of this other stuff is going to supercharge you. And I really think that that's part of the shift that we're going through, is like the people that are really going to win moving forward are going to be doing those things. Now, I'm not saying that you can't have any success at all without doing those things. You can. But the people that are really going to win, that are starting right now, they are absolutely doing those things. So think about that. I've taken several classes from others. Why is yours better? Seriously would like to know, what do you do different? So obviously I don't know exactly what's in every other course out there, as I haven't taken them, but here, from what I've gathered, from what people tell me that have taken other courses and then taken mine, or you know, I mean, well, that's a big one. Or people that took other courses and then asked me questions that didn't take my course, so I know what's missing and stuff like that. And the big thing for me that I think differentiates mine is this. I mean, it's something that I talk about so much on this channel, so forgive me for those of you that really know my stuff, but it's this philosophy of building something more long-term, building a product line that is synergistic, building a brand, you know, having this multi-year plan, right? I think most of the courses out there are how to get a product launched on Amazon. And here's the A to Z of a typical course in literally 10 seconds. It's going to be, use Jungle Scout, put in these parameters, get a product, order it from Alibaba, use Viral Launch or whatever to do a blast, and you're off. And that's the course. And in mine, like, while it has everything to get you onto Amazon, there is an underlying theme of building a real product company on the back of Amazon. And it also doesn't stop at getting you live on Amazon. It has traction. It has a traction section, all of the day-to-day things that you're running and tweaking and refining in your business. And then from there, it even goes on to the scaling section. What are those things that take you from having, 1-2 products doing, 10K revenue a month upwards to 100K plus per month and beyond? Like, what is that blueprint? That's what my course has. That I don't know. I don't know or care or want to know or want to talk bad on any other course. I don't know, but like, from what I've gathered, that is what people are telling me makes mine stand out. Is it's really this full business plan. It's not just the how to launch on Amazon today and make 50K a month in your like. It's not the hypey launch thing. It's like, let's slow down. Let's plan this out. You're building a product brand. You're going to scale this. You want to grow this. You're serious about it. And I think it can, I've had people that are already selling. They've already done the thing. They've already launched. They've already, maybe taken another course, and then they take mine. And I've had multiple of those people tell me that this was a game changer for them because they were already selling, but they had picked a product that didn't fit the way that I talk about it in the course, and that now they're taking it a whole different direction, and their business has completely transformed. So I think that makes it different. Is it's for people at zero, or it's for people that maybe are already selling for a year or two. Hope that answers it. That was a bit long-winded. Is it possible that a product starts to lose sales in the market before I enter it? Yeah, I mean, anything can happen, dude. Products have seasonality. Products have, new competitors. Products have hype and are fads. So yeah, for sure, anything can happen. Why did you choose S Corp over an LLC? I have an LLC. I am taxed as an S Corp. There are tax advantages at higher numbers to have an S Corp. So I'm not a tax professional, but this is probably what I would recommend is start with an LLC. If you start profiting 100K per year, then talk to your accountant about converting your taxation to S Corp taxation. That is what I would tell you. Do you need to hustle really hard like Gary Vee to be successful in FBA? Around 500K per year. If you're talking 500K per year profit, that is a lot, dude. Like, that's a lot. Like, 500K profit means you're doing, you have to, if you haven't watched my videos where I explain revenue versus profit, go back, and cash flow, go back and watch some of those, because if you want 500K in your pocket from Amazon FBA, I mean, that is like top tier, like years to build. I mean, that is a lofty goal, I would say, for Amazon FBA cash in your pocket, especially if you want it relatively soon. So, while I would say you do not need to hustle like Gary Vee to become a millionaire, I take pride in the fact, in a way, that I don't want to hustle like Gary. I don't think that's it's just not who I am. But I think that I think I can still be massively, impactful. Do you play any sports for fun? Yeah, Jessica plays a lot of volleyball, and so I've taken that up a bit. I'm not super serious about it, but I like to play. It's a lot of fun. I love the health topic. You should make a quick video on that. Yeah, I would really love to make quite a lot of videos on it, to be honest. I hope, I've said this before, but I hope to have a subset of my audience that really likes that stuff. And I would love to talk about it. I think in a perfect world, I would start, I'm working on uploading more frequently. I've been struggling. I'll touch on this for a second, as everyone thinks that these entrepreneurs that make content like myself or all these other people, they get the impression that they're just hustling 24/7. I'm not. Sorry to burst the bubble of that, but when you put out content, it gives the false impression that you're on 24/7, right? And so where was I even going with that? Oh, so the perfect world, I would be uploading videos, 5 times a week or something, and I would like to be able to sprinkle in those types of unrelated videos, because here's the thing, I've said this before. if you're like, I think you're insane if you're interested in business and financial freedom and time freedom and you don't care about health and life optimization. To me, this whole game that we're really talking about is life enhancement, life optimization, building a better life for yourself. Business and financial freedom is just a piece of that. Like, that is not your real goal. Your goal is financial freedom because blank, right? So that's where I like to talk about, and I want to introduce more angles than just the financial freedom aspect, which look, financial is huge in that game. It is probably the biggest piece, because having the money and the time freedom to do whatever you want opens you up to a lot of things. But yeah, that's the way that I see this whole big picture. Let's see. Give us a mind-blowing fact that you discovered about Amazon throughout your journey. Maybe the mind-blowing fact is that there is no mind-blowing fact. It's labor. It takes time. There's Amazon throws you headaches. There's always little things that come up, and that just ties into my overall philosophy, which is this is a real business that you're building. I think one of the best things I can do for you guys is show you that there's a lot of weird hype out there. And I never mean it to be discouraging, because I think the opportunities on the internet in general, beyond just Amazon, are literally unprecedented. We've never had this level of opportunity. Yet there's such a culture right now on YouTube specifically, almost like I see this less on say in the podcast world, or in on blogs or Reddit, or well, maybe Reddit's kind of shitty for this too, but everyone's just looking for that weird hack thing, and it's what about actual businesses that provide value and solve problems and help people and make the world a better place, and they take years, and there's things you're proud of, and that's if I can just shift the conversation a little bit, I'm super pumped with that. I'm a bit behind, so I'm skipping through a little bit, seeing if any questions pop out. If I skipped your question, feel free to ask it again. Wait, lost my spot. Matt's class is great. I've taken one other one that I paid $497 for, and it was a complete waste of time. His approach is no bull, no glitz. This is what you do, and this is why you do it. Very quick, straight to the point. It's logical and systematic. Great class, well worth it. It definitely helped me out. Johnny, thank you. I'm always really happy to hear that. I mean, I've gotten nothing but positive feedback on it, which I'm proud of. And honestly, I can't say I'm surprised based on the amount of time and burden I put on myself to make it good. It was a big project, ginormous project. So I am really glad that people see the value that I know is there. So yeah. What are your watch wish lists? On the topic of watches, Longa, I haven't said it in a while. Longa and Sunne? I forget how to pronounce it now. I used to go and try them on every freaking week. I haven't in a while, but Longa, Lange. I'm into so many of theirs. Pateks, there's the 5711 Nautilus, AP Audemars, Royal Oak. A lot of vintage. If I had unlimited money, I would have a lot more vintage stuff like this, where there's, it's not about the precious metals. It's not about, things like that. It's about the heritage, the history, the aging, the mechanical aspect, the historical significance. That's the stuff that's interesting about watches for me. It's never about the inherent value of it. So, I like a lot of crusty old watches. For example, this is a Speedmaster. The earlier Speedmasters, any watch nerds that are watching know, the 2915 Speedmaster. I mean, that can go for $100K for a really early, really sweet example of that. And something like that would be insanely cool if I had that level of funds. And also on the topic of watches, for those of you that might be bored by that topic, you can look at these as investments in a way. You buy a $300 watch that I'll make fun of you for, and that shit goes from $300 to worthless, okay? I bought this watch for less than it's worth now. Do the math, right? I could sell this watch for more than I paid for it. So what's it costing me? And that's how my whole watch collection is. Yeah. Do you recommend working with a trading company? If yes, how would someone approach them? In general, I much prefer to work directly with the manufacturer unless that's just not working out. It's not a no for me. Like I'm open to it, but I would much prefer to work direct when possible. I just like it because, again, product company, not Amazon seller. You want to have the freedom to change the manufacturing process as you go deeper, right? Like, can we rebuild this product? Can we do something new? And that's why I like working directly. How do you decide how to differentiate? I look at reviews, but what else? Hard to decide if there's a demand for my differentiation. Yeah, that's a great point. And I talk the same thing. This is the same answer for those thinking about bundles. Look, this is the reality of it. The more you differentiate, whether by changing the product or by bundling, the more you're also going into unproven territory. So it's actually a more risk, more reward angle to differentiate more. Like the more differentiated, the more unproven, the more upside, because if you tap into something that there's a lot of demand for, well, now you own it. Whereas if you tap into something there is no demand for, you're taking that risk. So more risk, more reward is how I see differentiation and bundling. So I would say my advice on bundling applies to both of these things, which is that I try to do no-brainer improvements and bundles, meaning like I don't just try to bundle shit together. I think that's a massive mistake that people make. But if it should have always been that way, then you're onto something. So yeah, I mean, it's a tough thing. It's hard to give an exact answer because it's definitely going to depend on every particular case. I think you need to spend time and really familiarize yourself with the market you're looking at so you can make the most educated decision based on what you see in that market, what is wrong with it, what matters to customers, and then trying to make the best decision based on that in balance with the fact that you're going into uncharted territory. So don't try to completely reinvent the wheel. Maybe one thing I've done in the past, and I highly recommend this, and I touched on it a second ago, is maybe your first product is a big opportunity, but it's only slightly differentiated. Then you roll those profits into really differentiating and really making something new. That I think is a great strategy. When did you first take money away from your Amazon business? I think it was about a year and a half in. Maybe a year. A year to a year and a half. Amazon is like the cryptocurrency market. Everyone has this idea they can jump in, right, and start making Lambos. In reality, you will jump in and lose money in the beginning. Not everyone will lose money in the beginning, but I think that the best place to be, and this is going to sound weird to some of you, the best place to be is to be in a position where you could lose some money. Like, I really think that. Like, I have a lot of people that come to me in like a place of desperation, and I can just sense it when somebody's going to like succeed or not based on like how they message me, right? And like the people that are just and like I've been there, everyone's been there, right? Like I know how it feels to not have any money and stuff like that. But the best place to be is to be able to risk some money, okay? And for me, what that looked like ties into the last question of I didn't take money out for a while. It's because I had another source of income. I was hustling and reselling and doing things to pay for my life. And that afforded me the risk of the thing that was scalable. I put the cash flow of my living expenses in a slight, just raw, not scalable business. I rolled that into the risky thing that had the upside. So that is the mentality that you need to get. So maybe that's having a job. Maybe that's running around on Craigslist and selling stuff on eBay. Maybe that's, anything, just anything. But like, if you have $500 in your bank account, you have no income stream, and you have rent next month, and you're asking how to launch $1 million Amazon business, like, I have to say that it's hard for me to help. It just is. It's just it's just not like it's not the right starting point. I hope that makes sense. Again, not to be discouraging. It's just that this is a thing there is risk, but there's risk for upside. There's risk for scalability. That's business. If there's no risk, like typically the things that are no risk are not scalable. That's an interesting, I've never said that out loud before, but that's a good point. The things that are no risk are not scalable. Your job is not scalable. You clock in, you get paid, and you go home. It's no risk to you. You're not going to go to work and lose money, right? It's not going to happen. There's no risk, but there's no upside either. You're not going to go to work and get paid $80 for the day and then go home and make another $200 while you sleep. That's not going to happen with a job either. Low risk, no scalability. So, you have to transition from no risk, no scalability to some level of risk with some level of scalability. I've never articulated that before, but I feel like that was a really good point. I liked that. Do you think product liability insurance is necessary? I know it would vary depending on industry, but wondering if you have it and if you think it's worth the cost. Yeah, I do. Look, you want to protect yourself against anything weird that could happen, right? Lawsuits, I would say for sure. Stephen Black, if you had the funds for Facebook giveaway for sales velocity and the margins were plus 45%, would you get into a product that has high demand, high competition, strategy on high demand, high competition? Honestly, this even ties into that last answer I just gave, is that, look, bigger market, higher risk, higher upside, right? It's the same answer. Smaller market, smaller risk, smaller upside. Bigger market, bigger risk, bigger upside. Like, I'll take both opportunities. Know what you're getting into. Know that it's going to require more money and know that it's going to require more risk. But also, the reason you're looking at it is because there's more upside. So this is something I've started to talk about more, is like, getting clear about what you're trying to build. Are you trying to make $3K a month? Are you trying to make $30K a month? Are you trying to sell your business for $12 million? Are you trying to make $1,000 a month on the side? Like, what are you trying to do? Because that's going to map much differently. Do you have $2,000 in your bank account? Do you have $200,000 in your bank account? That's going to be a different strategy as well. But I am super down to get into competitive markets. Super down. I mean, honestly, in some ways, there's less competition in those because they're higher. They take more investment. They take more hustle. They take more marketing strategy. They take more product development and investment. And, but I know you personally, Steven, in your situation, I think you are super, like, just because of the messages and the talks that we've had, like, you are super in a position to take on a bigger thing, in my opinion. But, that's not blanket advice for everyone necessarily. But yeah, I mean, I would not just go for small ones, but at the same time, building up some small wins is great for other people. I take that strategy as well. I have plenty of products that don't do very much revenue at all, but if they can add up and, it adds up, right? Like, if you can make $500 to $1,000 profit on a product and you can launch freaking 30 of those over the next couple of years, I mean, that's going to be a meaningful business for you. So, yeah. Do you still write your own copy or do you outsource it? I do write my own copy. I kind of find it fun. And the other thing is that, look, it's not like I'm writing copy all day. It's like, if I look in the last 12 months of how much copy I've written for my brands, it's like, I mean, it's not a lot. Like, it's not like copywriting is something you have to do continuously, really. So yeah, I do it. I read a book on it. Therefore you can get pretty good at anything if you read a book on something. Here with my books. I have an 112-year-old Hamilton pocket watch and a 109-year-old General Hampton pocket watch. They're not really valuable, but they are cool. That's awesome. That's cool. When you try to bundle two products made by different manufacturers, how do you get it packaged together? I would say send the smaller accessory to the main product supplier and have them pack it together. Hopefully it fits in the standard packaging. If not, you're going to have to work with them on some sort of custom packaging. Do you have any tips on losing the least amount of rank while you are out of stock? Yeah, you can try closing your listing. To me, like, I typically haven't done it. I've experimented a little with it, but a lot of people push this method. First off, I'll say try not to go out of stock, right? Like, that's the best solution. But if you're going to go out of stock, you can close the listing. That does retain some level of rank, it seems. But it's also scary. Like, it always used to worry me is like, is this going to come back? Am I going to lose my reviews? All of that. But But yeah, I mean, for the most part, it seems cool. Matt, you should make these live videos into podcasts so we can listen while on the road. Yeah, that would probably be a really good idea, to be honest. I probably should. I've been saying that I am starting a podcast. That's happening. It's happening at some point. I'm not putting a hard date on it. It's not an Amazon show. It's broader than that. Think Tim Ferriss show-esque. But that's a good idea. Like these Ask Matts, like I'm sure some people would listen as a podcast. If that's you and you're listening to this, let me know. Maybe it would make sense for this to be its own podcast. It's definitely not going to be the podcast I just talked about, but if people would listen to these Q&As just in audio format, let me know. It probably wouldn't be that hard to just like rip the audio and just upload it like that. So I'm curious if anyone would want that, or if you like listening on YouTube. I mean, of course, you can just play the YouTube video and not watch it also, I can't answer that one. Looking for another brief intermission as I find a couple more questions. We're at 30. Oh, we're at 36. So last question. Looking for the last question. Who's got the last question? Oh yeah, hit the thumbs up. Thanks, C. I always forget to ask. Hit the thumbs up. That would be super helpful. Really does make a big difference. One of my products' return rate is over 6%. Is it really bad? Should I stop selling the products? Look, this will be the last question. It's a good one. Return rate varies by industry, varies by product. So, I can't give you an exact number. 6% might be way too high for your industry. If it's an electronic, that might not even be low. Like, it varies. Here's what I would say is I would have to ask you a question. Is Amazon giving you a problem with it? Are they closing your listing continuously? Are they reaching out to you and saying you need to fix something? Is it a constant headache for you to get that listing reinstated? Then, also, how profitable is it? How worth it is it to keep it going? You need to evaluate all of these things, but there's no exact number. But for the most part, if you're not running into issues, I mean, if it makes sense and it's profitable and all that, like go for it, in my opinion. One last, do you have students' results? Yeah, I need to start having people onto my channel. I've felt weird about doing it because I don't know. I've said this, I'll leave it at that. I don't want it to just turn into that on my channel, but I'm going to try to have on a few people onto my channel. I just posted one student that just DM'd me like right before this on my Instagram story. He did like $650 already today or something like that, which is cool. That's great progress. Another student that I keep remembering the numbers, that his second day he did like $1,800 in sales or something, which was crazy. That's who I'd like to have on. But yeah, I mean, there's quite a lot now that are doing it. They're doing their thing. They're posting up numbers. It's in the private Facebook group. Best way to see if you're curious about other course members' experience and progress, post in the public Facebook group. So if you're not in the public, open, free Facebook group, first off, you need to get in there. There's like 3,800 members or something. So much activity in there. Every question gets answered. Not always by me, but that's the great thing, is that if it's not by me, it's by somebody. If nobody answers, I answer. So I'm in there answering a lot. So you can get in there, answer any question you have, but also like if you just say like, just ask that question in there, like, hey, has anybody taken it? What'd you think? Are people actually, liking it and succeeding? Is it a scam? Is it bullshit? Is it great? Is it helpful? Is it worth it? Ask in there. Like I've always said, I don't want to be hard selling this thing. I just want to put the value out there. It is what it is, and hopefully it reaches the people that can benefit from it and all of that. But if you want to know that stuff, ask the people that have forked over the money for it, and they'll tell you. They'll tell you in there. So, yeah, that's that. Anyways, if you're here and you're live, thank you for being here. If you're here and you're not live, you're watching the replay, hit that bell. That bell will notify you of when this is happening next. You can hop in here. You can get your question answered on here. That's the game. That's the name of the game. And yeah, if you haven't clicked all the stuff, all the thingies, all the different things, click them all. Click all the things. Click the like it. Click the subscribe. Click the bell. Click the Facebook group. Click the course. Click the affiliate links. Click all the things. And I hope it was really helpful. yeah, you know, I just really appreciate everybody watching. I really appreciate the audience and the attention that I have. It means a lot. I say this a lot, but I really mean it. I'm just still so glad that this has grown into something. It really is great. It's changed my life, and any help that I'm giving to you is just feels great, feels amazing. So thank you for watching. Thank you for the attention. I'm glad that I can help, and you know, just spread the word. That's all that I ask.